Is hell of a positive or negative? I find it a very curious thing that the phrase hell of a seems to be suitable to describe both good and bad things. For example, it was a great party. We had a hell of a time. Versus, we sold the house eventually, but we had a hell of a time. I certainly hear it more commonly used as in the first instance, but I imagine that this is a regional thing. But I wonder which sense came first. What is the etymology of the phrase? And, with this in mind, how should I interpret a sentence with very little context? For example, we had a hell of a time when we visited my parents over Christmas.
The phrase a hell of a time contains two idioms. A hell of and a time. As other answers have said, a hell of just emphasizes the strength of something. That man has a hell of a cheek, she has a hell of a talent, he has a hell of a big nose. And so on. A time often refers to a period that was interesting in some unspecified way, especially when preceded with a strengthening adjective. He had quite a time during his illness, what a time we had on holiday. Put them together, and you have. We had a hell of a time. There is nothing in the sentence to say whether they had a hell of a good time, a hell of an exciting time, a hell of a bad time, a hell of a dreary time. All of that is to be inferred from context. And perhaps the speaker doesn't want you to know the truth. Related, if you say I had a hellish time, that's always bad.
It refers to the extremity of goodness or badness.
Hell of a as an idiom is merely superlative, strengthening the noun that follows. That said, we generally use it to imply a great amount of in the positive sense. In the negative sense, it would be just hell.
Dictionary of idioms, a hell of a time, a difficult task, an awful time. Example. When he's drunk I have a hell of a time getting his car keys. He doesn't want to give me his keys. Similar idiom. A dickens of a time, one hell of a time. They all mean the same, dealing with one very difficult task, one major problem. Slang. A hell of a time, extremely good spend time. Hell refers to something impressive, extremely good. It is mostly vulgar and American slang. The phrase, a hell of a thing, as in any other phrase containing the hell of a string, can be either negative or positive, each one only depending upon the context it is used in.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.